Don't engage alone. We do this together.
Yeah!
We got it! We got it!
New 52 booklet.
Somebody clip this. Sorry, Jared wanted to start this episode on a high note, so I provided a very bad one.
Welcome to Justice League Rewatch. My name is Jared. I'm here with the chief idiot from Comics League, Nick from the Phoenix Press. What's up?
Oh, I'm only a little bit manic right now. It's okay.
It's all good. It's all good, brother. So we're basically in a little bit of a Flashpoint paradox in this episode.
Flashpoint, Civil War. It could be either way.
That's a good point, Nick, because this episode is basically a form of DC Civil War, except it's way better than what Marvel did.
Liar.
More on that later. Oh, this
it's at
episode
least better than
takes
Civil
place...
War 2.
No, it's better than both. This episode takes place because the plot makes sense. So here's the thing. So, and yes, clip that. I can say that. So, this episode takes place immediately following the previous one, Question Authority, where Captain Atom is fighting Superman. And it's a pretty... where like Captain Atom goes, I can mimic radiation, including red sun radiation. I'm like, oh, kick his ass!
Yeah, that certainly does even the playing field, I will admit.
Now, the other thing that I loved, and this is where I know that this show gets Superman, it's written by, first off, this episode is written by Dwayne McDuffy, so he better get Superman.
Right off the bat, you know you're in for a good episode.
When Captain Atom is down for the count, the Cadmus, like, medics go to heal him, and he goes, stop. He's a leaguer. So even after briefly turning against Superman, they still treat him like a brother.
Well, it's also... to comment on when he first met him, was like, sorry, I got called into reserves. You know, I'm doing this on orders. You know, it's like, and Superman understands, like Captain Atom. It's like he's still Air Force. Like he's kind of doing this against his will to a degree.
Yeah, so I really like that. Again, that shows me, particularly after the travesty that was Superman in the Shazam episode. The show still gets Superman to a degree, but anyway,
he's still being a bit of a hothead, though.
Still being a bit of a hothead, but that's cool, Superman. So, what this episode and then obviously we get more of Huntress being a badass, helping Question. It's again this show.
Huntress being relationship goals.
Yeah, this whole the past like 5 episodes of the show are basically trying to convince you and succeeding why Huntress is freaking awesome.
Always has been.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And she is a badass in this. Like, she's taken down 20, 30 dudes. It's a cartoon, so that logic is fine as opposed to the Birds of Prey movie.
Why did you say that name?
But anyway, so...
yeah.
Taking out guys, and she's saving Question. And what's kind of cool, first off, Question is still sprouting conspiracy theories, which I'm like, never change, Vic, never change.
We all gotta have our coping mechanisms.
Exactly. And then I like where he finally shows his face to Huntress, and she's like, I know.
Ginger!
Right. Yeah, what?
Ginger.
Yeah, oh yeah, there you go. And how's it feel?
Reverse Ginger erasure.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally a plot point. So and I liked where he goes, I know, you're right, the ugliest man you've ever seen. And he goes, I wouldn't say that.
He's seen some ugly mother effers.
Yes, exactly. And so basically they have more of the conversation with Superman and the about the Lex Luthor basically turning the Justice League evil. So they send the Suicide Squad to kill the Justice League. I'm just kidding. And
why did you? That sounds like the plot of a bad video game.
a plot of a great game. But anyway,
Civil War.
so then we get, speaking of Civil War, here's my point here. So all of a sudden, the Justice League have this space laser.
A laser.
Which is a callback to the Darkheart episode when they took out those robot bugs.
They literally reference it.
Yes. And it's like a space laser. It powers up and like takes out the Argus headquarters. So basically, Lex is trying to say that the Justice League has a vendetta against Argus, so they're trying to take out Argus.
Yeah, this episode oddly got pretty political. And it's even going up to the point of having a false flag attack.
Well, again, this show gets political, but in a way that doesn't seem like ham-fisted. And even they have the debate on the Watchtower, and of course, Green Arrow. I loved where they basically had the whole freedom versus security argument. Green Arrow's like, oh, wait a second. The job of government is to do for others what they can't do for themselves.
I mean,
the
this
people
version is a classical
us.
liberal. By modern definitions, this version of Green Arrow is a classical liberal.
Yeah. And I like where Green Arrow is like the purpose of government is to protect us, is to do what we can't do for ourselves. Protecting us against gods, yeah, we can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's kind of funny? This episode kind of also has kind of a gun debate where they're like, I was never okay with you having the space laser.
A laser.
That's what the president says to Jean. Jean goes, we'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, basically.
The government is literally trying to disarm the Justice League.
They're taking our space lasers.
Laser.
They're taking
Now
our
we can't even have space. What is the world coming to when we can't even have our space lasers?
The right of the people to have an orbital space laser shall not be infringed.
Stand by for space laser.
That is fantastic. I love that. But yeah, and that's the thing about the show. They're basically, I mean, you can interpret it as them tackling these debates. And even in Avatar, they do this, where they have these political conversations. But unlike the crappy writers of today, they do it in a way where it doesn't seem ham-fisted. They're taking it from actually a pretty neutral position.
Yeah, like they're not obviously like they're not trying to like shove a position down your throat. It's just, hey, here's the situation. Interpret this however you want.
Yeah. And by the way, here's a piece of trivia for you. Dwayne McDuffy had stated that this is one of his favorite episodes he ever wrote. And you know what? This is why Dwayne will always be one of my favorite people to touch DC at all. Because he can do this. He can 110% do this type of stuff, but do it in a way where everyone can agree, or he takes the Zack Snyder approach to politics where he makes it where it's not like in your face, so you can just say it's a cool superhero story. Or if you want to interpret it, you can.
Exactly.
So I could say that Dwayne McDuffy is the Zack Snyder of the DCAU. Hoorah!
That's a bold claim.
That's a
brother.
compliment. I want to be clear. That's a compliment because, as you guys know, I love Zack Snyder's work.
I mean, it's not like you're literally wearing the hoodie.
Fun fact, I have like a good portion of Dwayne's Justice League run in the comics. He's the reason why you had like Vixen on the League and Black Canary as the team leader. Well, actually, it wasn't him per se, Meltzer, but then he over for Meltzer. And that's where you have like a lot of the really great episodes. And you also had another dream sequence in the comics where Superman and Wonder Woman were married.
Of course.
That's why. That's why we talk about him a lot on Legacy. Always as it should be. But so let's talk about some by the way, so first, before we get the trivia, Nick, your thoughts on the episode?
Really freaking good. When I went into this, I was expecting some Flashpoint action, and I was a bit disappointed, but you got to realize this is before Flashpoint was the perceived cure for everything.
This is before Flashpoint was the term Flashpoint was irrevocably linked to, when it comes to DC, to time travel.
I think it was at least seven years prior to that storyline even coming out. So Flashpoint wasn't even like on the table. Like it was like years from being thought.
Because Flashpoint was 2011, and this episode 2005. So like 6 years before.
Yeah, so practically another era.
So, but because the way they're using Flashpoint in this is that, to your point, it's a single incident that leads to like this massive change. Because if you notice, now another great part of the episode is when Flash is helping people, but then the public starts to turn against the Justice League because they're like, "You shot us with a space laser."
A laser.
Yeah, that kind of changes things.
Yeah, and if you notice, I think this episode was also a vague reference to 9/11 with
Maybe.
like the ground zero portion of the thing.
Yeah, but that's also you're kind of getting into just like you're kind of getting into some conspiracy theories about like inside jobs and
No, I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about just
but
the ground
you
zero
putting
part.
it to 9/11, you go into that territory. So I was like,
Yeah,
careful.
it's true.
Because like that building was destroyed by somebody else. Like it's just like
Yeah.
shouldn't
I
have been
got it.
ground.
Now, then we get a little reveal. So Wallow does send someone to kill the Suicide Squad. To kill the Justice League. It's the Ultimen from previous, led by Galatea.
Yeah, that's an interesting twist.
And if
you notice
notice
how they actually brought up in the episode a few times, at least once or twice, about her being cloned before, as kind of like a way to remind people. Like they set it up in the episode. Like they actually mentioned at least once or twice about Supergirl being cloned as a way to kind of remind you, like, oh yeah, you guys remember that happened. So it's already in the back of your head when they reveal it. So that's some good writing on their part.
Now, what's kind of cool, and this is a piece of trivia for you. You notice how at the end of the episode, Galatea throws a red towel over her shoulder when exiting the gym, a nod to the partial red cape worn by Power Girl. Because she's the DCAU, because she's the DCAU Power Girl. Let's face it, that's who she is.
Yeah.
And the Flash paraphrases Gandhi's maxim: "An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind." It's like, as Auntie Flash used to say, it's that. So you could say
Grammy Flash.
So the Flash is related to Gandhi. That's interesting. I didn't see that one coming.
What?
Did you really just do that, Jared?
Yeah, I did. There you go.
You didn't
We
see that
saw the
coming?
Gandhi thing. Yes, we didn't see that coming. Yes, exactly. And then the Flash just speeds off. Now, so obviously, yes, the title of this episode is the same as Flashpoint. That's the first piece of trivia here. The Flash Gandhi. Galatea. This is possibly a tribute to the controversial Daisy ad, which was aired during the 1964 U.S. presidential election campaign and showed a child picking flowers before a nuclear blast.
Have you seen that ad?
No, I haven't.
All right, we're watching this after we record. But
Sure.
It's wild.
Despite the president only being credited as president in the credits, he is given the name Stone in the Dwayne McDuffy script for the episode "Divided We Fall."
And
then McDuffy said this is one of his favorite episodes. So all in all, pretty dope episode. I enjoyed it. And so for characters that also show up, Atom, Booster Gold, Dove, Dr. Light, she saves Superman in space.
I think it's the first time we've seen Dr. Light in the series.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
In the episode The Return, where Amazo shows up, she gets, when everyone like unleashes their power after John says light him up, she's one of the characters that like blast energy out. So then we get Elongated Man, Gypsy, Nemesis, Ray, Rocket Red, Steel, Vibe, Vixen, and the Ultimen clones. By the way, Nemesis is a character named Tom Tresser. His power is basically he's a master of disguise. He dated Wonder Woman in the Gail Simone run, except he was a raging misogynist. That's one of Wonder Woman's romances that made zero sense. But all in all, I would rate this episode a solid 9.5 out of 10. It's awesome. I could have used some Superman Woman action, but I'll take what I got with this.
Well, by that logic, like the entire series just gets like a half a point deduction right off the bat just because of that.
Not every episode. Now, you know what? Screw it. 10 out of 10 because this episode does the politics thing so well. And honestly, it needs to get it needs to get a score boost because of that, in my opinion, because too many shows nowadays do this horribly.
I was gonna give this a 9.5, but I'm gonna up it to a 9.7. Just because of the politics. It's just, you know me, I just can't go handing out 10 out of 10. You got to be really good to be a 10 out of 10.
Oh,
but I'll give this a 9.7.
And you know what? I'll give it a 10.5 out of 10 because it's written by Dwayne McDuffy. He automatically
you just try to average out our scores so that they're 10 each.
No, I'm just trying to one up you all the time. Every time you take off points, I add points. So there you go.
All right, fine. This is a 5.0 episode.
So anyway, all in all, again, dope episode. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know below what you enjoyed about this episode, your favorite parts, your favorite characters, and let us know what other shows you want to do. What we want to do for Rewatch, because after Justice League, we're going to be doing Superman the animated series. It doesn't get enough attention, so we're going to go through all of it. We'll have also guest appearances from like Taladia and all the other guys for like the World's Finest episode and stuff. So we'll have some fun with that. And on Nick's side, do you want to tell the nice people at Comics League the show we're gonna be covering on your channel?
All right. So I took last week off, because I was having some stuff, but we're roaring back this week. We got the last episode of Avatar airing this week. We got Comics Watch. We're doing Black and White, and then this Friday for Friday Night Frenzy, we're answering the most important question: should Batman kill? And if you want to see that, so yeah, it's gonna be really great. And then next week we're having a live stream, sending off Avatar: The Last Airbender in style. I'm sure Jared's pretty happy with that.
Yes!
And then the week after that, we're starting a brand new series. We're watching Teen Titans, the 2003 series.
Now, I will say, I'm kind of going to miss Avatar. Not season 3. Definitely not season 3. I just want to be clear on that. Hell no to season 3. Now, the other thing I want to add, Under Two Capes, because I didn't realize this, but it's basically bat-themed on both of our shows, because
this is Bat Week.
It should Batman kill on your thing, but on Under Two Capes this week, we're going to get a little personal. What Batman as a character means to us. We could talk about our favorite Batman, particularly Kevin Conroy, because I feel like with the Suicide Squad game, there's a lot of conversation on the internet about what Batman means to people. So you know what? Yeah. Let's wade into that. And we're not going to be talking about Suicide Squad because that gets talked about way too much. On that note, everyone, stay heroic, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye-bye.